Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for pricing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing what must be one of the best new watches of 2020. This is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Complete Calendar Chronograph from the Master Control Collection, 40 millimeters in stainless steel. The watch is 12.5 millimeters thick and 47.5 millimeters from lug to lug. It has a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Nicely sized and beautifully proportioned, it's a handsome all-arounder. I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, and on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see it fits quite well. From over the top, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. You can see that well down the barrel, and then the cuff shot showing that this watch, especially with its conical sloped bezel, will slide quite easily underneath the cuff. A little bit of a distance shot so you can see it in proportion. It is a wonderful watch that feels just as good as it looks. Taking a look at the hardware and the software, we have a light brown calfskin strap, thick cut, monotone stitch, a sheer side showing the layers of leather, calfskin on the bottom with a tonal contrast, made in France by Camille Fournet, the OEM supplier of straps to JLC. Note there are pull-tab spring bars on the bottom so you can quickly and easily remove the strap if you wish to clean between the lugs or swap the strap. But what would be the point of that if you were stuck with one end connected to the clasp? There is a push button on the clasp that allows you to release the clasp and then reattach it to a different strap using only this push tab right here. So you can fully swap the strap out using no tools. Taking a look, we have a simple double fold deploying clasp, stainless steel just like the case, nice insurance against accidentally dropping your watch. Taking a quick look at the profile of the case, you can see it's satinated with longitudinal satin finish. There are 4 pusher correctors on the case band. You can see they're slightly above the plane of the crown, so it is a modular complication on a JLC 750 base. The lugs are handsomely tapered, and you can see they're polished on their top, beveled on their side, and it's an expanding bevel as you move out from the case band. The bezel is set back from the case, and you can see it's just a little bit of setback, but it breaks up the visual mass and creates the impression of a watch that's thinner than it is. There's a narrow vertical portion of the bezel and then a conical section that abuts a slightly cambered sapphire. We have vintage-inspired rectangular chronograph pushers that are polished and a JL logo crown. Push-down crown, 50 meters water-resistant. The dial is a lovely silver opaline or matte finish. You can see outboard there is a pulsation scale, or also known as a doctor's scale. It can be used in conjunction with the chronograph seconds hand to gauge the pulse of a patient. The dial features a set of diamond-polished and rhodium-plated dart-style indices. That you can see there are loomed plots outboard at the 4 corners, so this is a loomed dial. The applique indices twinkle like cut gems. Then we have polished Dauphine-style hands at center with blued hands for your constant seconds, chronograph minutes, and chronograph seconds. Take note, the watch is a triple calendar, not an annual calendar, not a perpetual calendar, so you will need to reset it 5 times a year. Small matter. The moon phase is coaxial with the pointer-style date, and then we have apertures for the day as well as the month. The timepiece does include, as you will note, hacking or stop seconds, and the chronograph has both a column wheel, so you can hear and feel that it's very crisp, but it also has a vertical clutch, so the seconds hand starts without any jump or stagger, and if you so choose, you can simply leave the chronograph running full-time thanks to the vertical clutch. There is no additional wear and tear involved. A few thoughtful splashes of red on the registers, as well as at the index at 60, and of course, blued hands. Very good looking. Turn the watch over, we have caliber 759, basically a new caliber for this model. Previously to 2018 and the new Polaris collection that year, JLC would not put a display case back on the 750 series watches, so it's still a relatively new thing to be able to see them in JLC movements. They were previously visible on the reverse side of some Cartiers. 759 is the 750 with the complete calendar moon phase module added. So it is a unidirectional winder with ceramic rotor bearings for efficiency. It has 2 mainspring barrels, so the torque drop-off isn't dramatic after, for example, 24 or 48 hours. With a single barrel barrel, there can be a lot of fluctuation in torque to the balance and variations in timing. With double barrels, that's better controlled. 65-hour power reserve, it beats away at 8 beats per second or 28,800 vibrations per hour. It does use a free-sprung balance for easier adjustability and better shock resistance. And then you can see that column wheel is exposed through a skeletonized portion in the bridges. The vertical clutch you can't see, but it is at work for you. This is a 37 joule movement, as I mentioned, water resistant down to 50 meters, and it goes through the master 1000 hours control, which is a 1000 hour control testing chronometry, water resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, shock resistance, and of course it is a fully cased up standard, as the movement is tested in the watch as you, the customer, would receive it, whereas the COSC tests movement bare. So a bare movement when cased up can perform very differently. So JLC does this test as a fully assembled watch. We have Côte de Genève across the rotor as well as the bridges. We have setnation on the wheels, black polishing of the column wheel and column wheel spring setnation on the regulator for the balance, then fired blue screws, all of it quite handsome, attractive on both sides. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.